I don't think we are, no. I mean, Facebook, of course, the largest social media platform, 2 billion people using it, and a huge amount of influence can flow through its servers. I actually think there are big missing gaps here. The kind of political organizations in the US are trying to undergo this kind of reform by political embarrassment, and of course you can drag Facebook and Twitter in front of a committee whenever you want. What about Wikipedia? What about all the many forums where people also gain their information? I think there are really big areas which we're not yet focusing on, and then really until you start looking for information warfare as it happens on the internet, you don't really find any of it.
But how can you legislate for this? You're legislating around democracy effectively, and already we've seen attempts right in Europe how to tackle freedom of speech, and there's a feeling that certain parts of the political sphere are not getting a voice now because there's too much legislation. So what does the US do about ensuring that free speech is protected, but ensuring that you're not getting bots from a particular country influencing elections?
You're right, unbelievably difficult to know what to do about all this. I think that we are actually living through a grand shift in how and where warfare happens. I've just spent a year going around the world trying to understand what this shift looks like. But wherever you go, whether it's in the United States or in Europe or in Russia or anywhere, you see the same thing happening. Militaries are pivoting towards information. They increasingly see wars as things which are fought through, over and with information, and therefore they are beginning to deploy more and more of their assets to do it. And frankly, information warfare, trying to influence elections, this is technically unbelievably trivial for militaries to actually do. So we're only seeing the beginning. These are just the opening shots, really, in what I think is going to be a lifetime of struggle between the tech giants and militaries that are increasingly seeking to subvert their platforms.
But it's also beyond militaries. I think one of the issues is the relationship between corporations and customers. As more and more silos of data become available and artificial intelligence starts to connect the dots. And so the psychometric profile that Cambridge Analytica created, which was 5,000 data points on 81 million people being enough to start influencing election, now we're going to add a lot more silo to that. So I'd be interested, for example, in the Google MasterCard deal, where suddenly Google knows exactly what you're spending on and therefore how to advertise to you on a scale that we've never seen before. As if I'm right about this, Cambridge Analytica was the tip of an iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg in terms of data sovereignty, tip of the iceberg in terms of us just realizing for one of the first times exactly what happens to our data, how they're mixed together, how artificial intelligence is used to infer things about us, the like of which we couldn't imagine before. You're right, and I think there's going to be a kind of series of news scandals and news stories coming out over the next year or two, which are showing kind of Cambridge Analytica on steroids time and time again.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.